Hello, everybody. My name's Warren Martin or Marty Martin. And if you're watching this, I assume you've had a stroke or your family member had a stroke or you know somebody's had a stroke. So I had a stroke back in 2022 and it was kind of severe. I was a week in the ICU, 3 weeks in a rehab hospital, and then 10 months doing outpatient therapy. And so one of the things along that whole journey there, I found things that, oh, I wish I maybe known about this piece, but it would have been nice to know. Now, I've got some background in writing, I've got some books out and so forth. So, I thought, well, maybe, I think I'll just keep track of my adventures and recovery and rehab and write a book about it. So I did that. And I wrote a book. And so now I'm doing this kind of mini podcast series about the stroke experience, as we call it. And I thought I'd have different segments about different stages along the way because, if I had found something like this, I would have liked it, so this very first one I'm doing is just about the first, few days, first week. You may be watching this like a day later, or or a day later or so. And so that was it. I was just gonna, talk a little bit about what to expect. So if you're just watching this on day one, you probably might be loopy and not even know what's going on a whole lot. But some people don't stay in the ICU for a whole week like I did. It might be a day or two. Some people don't go uh, to rehab hospital. They just go straight to outpatient therapy. It just depends. But in our case or my case, we're talking more of a severe stroke. So we have one side paralyzed, like in my case, left side, paralyzed. So there's some adjustments you have to do. But one of the things I will tell you is just keep a positive attitude. Uh, you know, a devastating thing has happened, and a whole new world is ahead. It's not the end of the world, and positive attitude is the biggest thing. You gotta keep a positive attitude and just think and have patience. You're sitting in the hospital, you're sitting in the ICU. Like if you day or if you're first day or two, you may be a little groggy or a little out of it, not sure, but just have patience. Things will happen. For me, I was diabetic, overweight, had high blood pressure. Of course, the only med I was taking at the time was for diabetes. I was taking metformin. But when I woke up in in the ICU, I noticed that the first day in there that hey, they were giving me all kinds of meds. High blood pressure, cholesterol, blood thinners, diabetes medicine, or I wasn't doing the metformin, they were giving me insulin shots. So a lot of changes were happening. Now, if you're not diabetic, it's a whole other story. But in my a lot of us stroke victims are diabetics, high blood pressure, and those are the things that contribute to stroke for a lot of people. So, having said that, so you're in the hospital. One of the little adjustments might be is you can't get out of bed on your own. Although some people do try and it don't work. They kind of get a little injured more. But anyway, one of the adjustments is the bathroom. You're gonna need help. Some people don't like that, but hey, you gotta get over it. If it's something that bothers you. So, but anyway, and then so for me, week in ICU, visitors, family, everything, and the docs came in every day, checked me. Things like, hey, how's your vision? Now, I thought my vision was great. I didn't notice till a week or two later when I was in the rehab hospital that bright lights and things like that were kind of bother me. So even though I didn't realize it, I did have a little vision issue, but not as severe as some cases can be. So the other thing, so they came and talked to me and my wife Debbie, and they're telling us about we're gonna send you to the rehab hospital. So where I was in St. Louis, I was in Mercy Hospital in St. Louis for ICU, ER and ICU, and then down the road there was a Mercy rehab hospital that I was going to. So that's where they were gonna send me to, and that was gonna be anywhere from 1 to 3 weeks. Ended up being 3 weeks, so that was the next step after the ICU. And so they briefed us on that, what was going to happen. and they wanted me in there on a Monday because that's how they start their weeks from rehab. And they wanted me, so they were supposed to get me out of there Sunday night out of the ICU over to the rehab hospital. That didn't happen because of this little thing called the bowel movement. With all the meds and everything, things can happen or not happen. So anyway, Monday that happened, and I got over there Monday, and so that's pretty. So that was my first week and what's ahead. So I'm gonna do these videos here, podcasts, whatever we want to call them, and hopefully I'll go through different stages as we go on. It'll also go along with the book I wrote. So there I'll do some self-promotion for my book, which I also have in the print book, ebook, and also the audio. So that might help. Like I said, I didn't know about it at the time. If I had, I definitely would have got something like that to kind of tell me how things are going. So, okay, with that, I'll leave it there for now, and welcome to come back, and we'll go from there. All right. Thank you, and stay positive.